Sorry about that. Camera kicked out. Anyway, Mom's deal was, you know, her doctor a lot of times hurt worse than the crash. So we wind up, I want to get back on the bike. So we wind up walking here. And I still remember being up here in the kitchen there at my mom's kitchen table. Oh, child, we got to clean that up. So she gets alcohol. And I remember putting it on. This big old scrape on my leg. And because I had scarred it for years. And it was burning. All I could think was, my mama is hurting me. I can't believe my mama's hurting me. And, I don't know how just crazy things you remember. I mean, I can remember, and, we do stuff like as kids. We torment each other. We do stupid stuff. We hurt each other. But, somewhere along the line, you realize, you was just kids. I mean, when I had that crash with the bicycle and we wrecked, it also tore out this piece up underneath my lip right there. It ripped it out. But on the other side, me, being the little heathen I was, my sister who was doing the doubling that day, we was in the house up there and she's vacuuming and she's telling me to move because I was playing the floor and had this little board, put things in, wood, supposed to be a little wood mallet. Well, I had a regular metal hammer. Well, I was watching PBS, watching children's stuff. She's in front of the TV. And I was watching Sesame Street. And I sort of looked at her and waved, for her to move. She didn't move. I swung the hammer and hit her in the mouth, so I chipped her tooth. So, ain't like I was innocent of anything. But I just, I guess for me is, how did people, this stuff happens. You grow up, you say stuff, you do stuff. I'm sure when I was in school, I probably did stuff to people, said stuff to people, hurt their feelings, was a horse's rear end, especially when you're younger, family, friends. I literally have kinfolk who were first cousins, grew up together, and they fought and bickered. And I mean, some ways it was dangerous what they was doing. Up till she passed away, she's in her 70s when she passed away. And literally, him and her was still going at each other when she passed away. And it had got bad enough, the stuff they was doing to one another, she finally sent word that she'd had enough, that the next time he did something like that, she'd just go and shoot him, because she didn't figure she had that much long to live anyway. Well, she had a very ornery reputation. I could tell you some good stories on her. And it spooked him enough, he decided at that point might have quit, but she didn't, live much longer after that. But still, all those years are just being mean to each other, doing stuff and holding a grudge. And see, I just don't understand that. The good book tells you not to let the, sun set on your anger, and that if you can't forgive, he can't forgive you. And that's probably one of the hardest things to do. And lots of times we forget that, we're not always the one that got hurt. That lots of times we did the hurting. And that's the sad part in the world today. You got all these people looking around going, I'm offended. Well, everybody lots of times gets offended. It's part of life. Don't use it as a shield. Don't sit there and hang on to it and act like, oh Lord, you just, this oddest thing. And you wrap it around yourself like a cloak. Why? Let it go. Toughen up. Understand nobody's perfect. And, all thing I can tell you is, if you went through life, you've never run your mouth, you've never been a smart aleck, you've not been a horse's rear end, or said something, or done something, or been spiteful, or did something. Well, obviously, you either Jesus or you're very much Christ-like, because trust me, I failed at every bit of that stuff. And I know I have. It's like the Bible speaks about a beam in your eye. You're busy trying to tell your friends, family, how bad a person you are. And all this, let me take that splinter in your eye, brother. You just all this. But you have a beam in your eye.